Hello everybody, this is the Fralins and Friends.
I got a shirt on.
Yep, he does, I don't. Mine all got paint on him. I am really trying not to lean to the right because I don't know if it's something with a hip, my hips being weird or a tilt or what, but I just continually lean to the right. So,
Go this way.
there we go. I need support. There's my supporter. I love him. And today is Mother's Day here in the U.S. And I don't, whatever country you're in, let your mom know that you love her and that you appreciate her. I've got some very nice messages from the kids. I don't think any of them have missed me yet. But we have a messenger. I sent out a Happy Mother's Day to my sisters, and so we're getting to have a lot of mothers in our family. So, but they're all pretty much saying Happy Mother's Day or Happy Grandma's Day. Or Happy Mother's Day, Grandma. So it's a nice day, kind of warm.
Yeah.
Tell them what you got, what you did to me.
She likes Charleston Chews candy. I found some at Dollar Tree.
Little bite-sized ones.
Yeah, I couldn't find any bit of honey. And then I got her a card and a blue.
Beautiful.
Blue says Mother's Day.
And it's got little like butterflies and stuff all over it. It's really cute. It's one of those
I didn't know what else.
Mylar balloons, I think they call it.
Yeah. I didn't know what to get her.
Well, you did. You got me whatever.
After 48 years, you kind of run out of ideas.
Well, this was a really great one. He does really good. I think he...
Instead of getting her a steak, I just made some real thick pork chops.
Yes, and
Corn on the cob.
Oh, God.
Tater salad.
Yes, and I'm so full. I'm still full.
Now I seared the pork chops on each side, got them brown on each side, and I stuck them in the oven with some barbecue sauce and a little bit of water, and baked them for about 45 minutes on 350. They're pretty tender.
Yes, they were good.
They weren't all dried out like the thinner ones.
Yeah, that's the thing. The thicker ones you gotta give a little longer to cook, but the thin ones,
Well,
it's a little hard to tell with them.
I don't usually bake the thin ones, so it's usually just frying over.
Yeah, he just usually puts them on his skillet. They're good, but the thick ones, they are very juicy and tender. Well, not overly. I mean, he had them well done. They were done. They weren't.
Overly dry.
No, they weren't. That's real. They weren't overdone, but they were done, and they were delicious.
I took them out after 35 minutes, and I cut them in half. I looked at them, and I thought, I don't eat pork, you don't want to eat raw, so I thought, I'm going to give it 10 more minutes. So I did.
They were good.
They're still good, they're still somewhat moist.
Yep. And with barbecue sauce, that always helps.
Yep. Put some sauce on the side, that way you can dip it.
A lot of times he does get me steaks, because he don't eat steak.
Yeah.
But he come home with those thick pork chops, and it's like, that's fine. Let's just do that, because it's like a pork steak almost.
Yeah. They had them on sale, so that's because they was getting outdated, so I picked them up. It said use or freeze by that day when I got them. So we froze them, and I thawed them out. I took them out of the freezer last night, let them thaw in the refrigerator, And this morning about 9 o'clock, I took them out of the refrigerator and let them set for an hour or so, and then I started,
Because they were still a little frozen?
yeah,
Okay.
and I trimmed the fat off, and then I seared them, and then I baked them.
Well,
Got a little bit of a breeze today. Yesterday there
yeah,
wasn't
the
much.
windmill's going just a little bit.
Yesterday there wasn't much of a breeze. I mowed my backyard, so it's getting tall, but I'm gonna have to mow the rest of it tomorrow.
Yep. He came in and got himself a nice cool shower and
Yeah,
felt better.
put some shorts on.
Oh, yeah, it is shorts weather.
I may have to go over to the kids and wash out their air conditioner. I didn't get to it last week.
Yeah, it might be a good idea.
I washed out ours. If they get plugged up with dirt and dust, then it's hard on the compressor. And that's what makes some of them go out.
Our daughter works a lot. She works out of state, and their son still lives with him, but he does a lot of working, and so, and her husband is disabled. He can barely walk half the time, so Joe does a lot for him. Brandon does what he can when he's home, but there's things like rinsing out an air conditioner thing.
Well, you don't know how.
Well, that's true. You haven't showed me.
I might wait till it gets home tomorrow. That way I can go over and show him.
Yeah.
But you gotta be
It's
careful.
not that it's hard, it's just one of those things that's easy to forget.
Well, you gotta be careful too. It's because 220 can still hold a charge to it if you're not careful with the wire.
On the outside thing?
No, with the wire.
Oh,
So you gotta be careful. And this one you gotta
that's the first time I've heard that.
you take the screws out of the fan and then you lift the whole fan up out and you kind of flip it backwards. And first there's a box outside the house there. You pull the breaker out of it or the plug out of it.
That
way-
makes sense.
That way there's no juice going to it, but
That's making me feel better.
yeah. And you always want to do that.
But it is something that he needs to know.
Then you can reach down with the hose on the inside and you can wash that dirt out. Because it'll get like a dirt web on the outside of the screen. And you try and wash that dirt web off, or screen off. That's the, make sure you got water going through, then you know it's clean.
Yeah.
It's a wet job.
It's a hot day. We aren't supposed to have any rain for a couple of weeks, according to our,
They're talking Wednesday is supposed to be up to 95.
yeah.
Too hot too soon.
The problem is our ground is so dry that there's not really very much moisture for it to pull up and then dump back down. We're not in as big a drought as some places are, but we are in a drought.
Yeah, ponds are getting low, rivers down.
Yeah, it's time for a good old, now, it seems like all the rain usually comes this way, or in fact, the whole tornado alley started to move east. But how long that'll last, I don't know. But we don't like thunderstorms, but it's kind of like what our weatherman says. That's kind of what we get. So we do welcome the rain. This year seems like the rains we have had have been nice soaking rains.
Yeah.
It dries right back up. Sorry, my voice is still weird. I hope you saw the remake. Okay.
Oh,
I hope you saw the redo of the sculpture yesterday. It was not a real long video, but I redid that armature. I went over and watched Asa Clay do an armature, and it's like, it's been a while since I've really looked at what he does and studied his work, because that's where, I mean, I don't do the same kind of sculptures as he does. He does like monsters and that kind of stuff. But the armature is pretty much the same because you got the head, you got, but anyway, I went back to the good way of making the armature, and instead of trying to make all one piece with that head that doesn't work, that and bending those arms the way I did, there was no way I was going to position them. So, but I think you'll enjoy quite a bit. If you watched it already, then I hope that you enjoyed and found out that you can fail. Sometimes you need to fail. I mean, everybody that's successful has failed somewhere along the line and not given up. And that's, I'm not talking like monetary successful or anything like that, but if I failed at doing painting so much that it makes mine look like fine art. It's folk art, but it looks a whole lot better than it did a couple of years ago. Doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was fun. I had some real, we've got really good encouragers to keep it going. People giving me requests sometimes. So, and that really helps. So, for a while, well, I learned that if I'm too varied in everything that I do, then I'm not gonna get a whole lot of signatures because they're subscribers, because they're gonna go for the kind of thing they like to see, and they're gonna go for it, for the people that's what they're consistent at. And anyway, so that's when I went to doing almost completely painting. But they said then once you get enough followers, enough subscribers, then you can, branch out a little bit again. But I don't do the sculpting near as much as I used to. This Greek alphabet thing that I'm going through now, I kind of enjoy doing that. So, but Mrs. or Delta Woman, I'm not going to say Mrs. Delta, but Delta Woman is going to be much better than I started out with. Well, I mean, think about how many times does a child scribble all over the page before they start learning that the lines mean something. It takes a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want to discourage them from scribbling because, for one thing, it's entertaining them, and for another thing, they are learning that how colors work. So it's not a great example, I suppose, but it's not a bad one either. I'm weird. I like my weird. I just cherish my weird. I can't remember the word I used for somebody else in there.
You're weird.
Yep. We love you.
See ya.
He's making noise.
Bye.
Yeah. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Goodbye. Smile and wave. There's yours.